Hello everyone, let's see what's inside the April Premium Sketchbox subscription art box. Alright, let me see if I can get it all out. Set the box aside. Uh-oh. It was nearly falling over. Oh boy. Okay. Let me see here. We've got the tissue paper out of the way. Wow, I'm seeing a lot of pens here. Okay. And I don't know what this is. Fabric something. Let's scoot it over. Actually, ooh, a surface. And we have our brochure here. Trying to stay in frame. That's a challenge. And it says it's a pen sketching premium box. Let's find, ooh, we've got a tutorial here. Ooh, that's a nice turtle. Anyway, getting distracted as usual. Here are the items in the box this month. So this thing here, this fabric thing, says it's a Sketchbox signature roll-up case. And, well, it says it even fits some wide barrel. Okay. Ooh, I like the embroidered name there. Open it up here. I like that it seems pretty thin so that it won't take up too much space. Well, we'll see how it looks in a moment when we have a look at the other things with things inside it. Okay, we have our sticker here, and yep, there's some pens. Nice graphic. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. We'll stick that just out of frame there. I like this. What is this? Let's see. Sketchbox signature 5-inch bookmark ruler. A handy 5-inch ruler to add structure to your sketches. Use the rounded parts to add curves. Okay, that sounds interesting. I love that it's like a bookmark, so I'm gonna have to try that. We didn't get a sketchbook though. So let me just see here. Oh. A very popular sketchbook is the Royal Talons Art Creations sketchbook here. This is a new one. So let's just see. We'll try it out and just sticking it in. That's too thick. Oops, and I wrecked my page. Maybe you shouldn't stick it on like 10 pages, but there it goes like that. It does stick out quite a bit, but not too much. I think that could be handy to bring along with you. So that's kind of nice, and it's thin, but it feels pretty sturdy. This isn't hopefully going to break too easily. So let me set my sketchbook aside here. Then we have a bunch of pens, which is interesting because I don't necessarily think of the pens, well, I mean, yeah, as art supplies. This looks like an art supply, and then this right here kind of looks a little stationary to me, but I do love stationery. But this is, I thought, an art subscription box. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. A little bit, yeah, unsure is a good word for that. We have the Legion Stonehenge Craft 250 GSM 100% cotton paper pad here to try out. And I'm just going to do some swatching on here. This is the newer version of I guess it's not that new now, but Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen. This one's a dual marker. I do have the Pitt big brush pens. I don't know that they make them anymore. So we have a nice 0.8 millimeter nib on this end for this one, and the brush end on this one. And let me just show you real quick the big brush pens that I'm talking about. This is India ink. I do love these, but I bought some Albrecht Dürer watercolor markers that are Faber-Castell, and look at that. It looks fairly identical. The thing I noticed that does look different, obviously the name, and it looks like there's a different, this is kind of a greenish more than black, and beige lettering. But they're very similar looking. So the ones I have in my collection, these Pitt artist pens, I think they might be bigger. I don't know if I have black over here. I'll just look at brown and see if the nib is... It actually looks surprisingly bigger, the newer pen. So I do love, I wouldn't necessarily buy too many colors because I already have a few here. And then I have these smaller ones that are the Pitt Artist Pen. This is also a brush nib. Oh, that's why it says B on top. But I do like that this has two. The dual-ended, so you've got the brush nib and the bullet. So, ooh, it's beautiful. It's permanent when dry. So, oh, it goes down nicely on this paper. And I think you can, if you hit it right away, let me grab a water brush. Oh. Does it have any water in it? Yes. You can move it around if you get to it quickly. And for mixed media artists, or anybody who likes to play with mixed media, it's fun to put down some kind of a sealant like Mod Podge on top, and then you can really have a lot more time to move it around. You can move it with a baby wipe or your finger. So, but once it's dry, it's permanent. India ink, lovely. And if you rub it on a ceramic palette or packaging, you can just pick it up with your paintbrush, you know, and get a lot more gradient colors there. And move that out of the way. I think I got gouache or something in that palette. Waste not, want not. And let's have a look at all these pens. Okay, we've got, what is this? A Uniball Signal Impact Gel Pen. I've had a lot of these over the years, and I don't know if it's just me or what, but they always seem to dry out well before I use them up. And sometimes they give me a bit of frustration. But when they're new, ooh, look how nice this is. So opaque. And this isn't even quite dry yet, but it goes right over it. This is, I didn't write down the name of that. Signo, and it likes it more if you have a slow, steady hand, right? There's a little ball in there, and if you're super fast like that, you're going to get more broken lines. This is the, we'll just label it. I'm just going to put Pitt. And then I'm looking at this one. These look the same. This one looks different. I want to see the different one. We have, it is, let's scoot that over. Zebra Vintage Sarasa Clip Gel Pen in camel yellow. It's nice looking, sleek. I love the little clip thing. And I've had a lot of success using zebra pens. This one, I have one right in my desk here. A Sarasa right here. I like that one. Alright. And we have some protective little, whatever. I don't know what to call that. Ooh, it's a very subtle color on this paper. So it's pretty thin. Did it say 0.5, I think it says? Yeah. Or 0.5. This is a very nice pen. Does it say if it's gel pen? I don't. It does say gel pen. Okay, so I don't know if I'm super familiar on what constitutes a gel pen. Maybe it's water-based, because I think that, you know, a regular ballpoint usually has an oil-based ink in it, and the gel must be different. Amazing, isn't it? I know. So it looks like it's gonna stay put. It doesn't move a whole lot. I want to see if I can get it to move, though. I'm just pulling out some palette paper. These are mixing palette sheets. That's an old pad from a long time ago. Jean Davenport Art Supplies. Okay, we're going to scratch some on there. It's not a ceramic palette, but oh look, yeah, you can pick it up, but it kind of makes it disappear with the water. So obviously it's not going to stay put on my palette paper, but yeah, I think that would not necessarily be pretty frustrating, because you would have to put a whole lot down to do anything noticeable. But, you know, maybe if you just want to add a very little bit of subtle, you could do it that way. But yeah, not much happening there. All right, next, let's have a look at these 4. Oops, I covered up my menu. These are 4 Pentel Matte Hop gel pen. Dark green, navy blue, pink, and violet. I've never heard of Matte Hop gel pens, but I've heard of Pentel, and I've loved their products, their pens, in the past. So let's see how these look. And they don't have anything on them. Oh, they're a bit thicker. Oh, it says a 1 point. Or no, this one says 1 point. 1 millimeter. What? Matte Hop. So you're getting a much thicker line here. Does look like it's putting a lot more ink out, so I want to see. Yeah, you can kind of. You can't really move it around, but if you hit it with water right away, you're going to get some movement of some of the color, I guess. And since this is so much bigger, I want to see if this works better to pick up a subtle color on my palette. Ooh, well, that's pretty. Now this is not watercolor paper, though it is 100% cotton, but ooh, that's kind of fun. I do love when colors move in water. That is kind of my favorite. Watercolor and gouache. No bias. Let it be known. So, but pens, yeah, I don't actually, I think I'm a chicken, so I'm definitely a chicken. I don't actually sketch in pen, really. You know, there are people that like sketch, ooh, that's fun, sketch in ballpoint, they love the sketchy look. Every now and then I will sketch in pen, only because I have nothing else, and all I have is a pen and a paper. But, yeah, I just like to be able to erase, and I never seem to get the right line the first try around. Rarely. This is interesting. I'm liking the Matte Hop. I don't know if I'd like them for writing. It's so thick. Oops. But I don't know if I'd like them for drawing either, because I don't know. I don't know that that's my style. But look at all those fun colors. I'm having fun just throwing it on, messy like. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with all this stuff. And then the prompt for this month is art table. Huh. Which, I don't know. That's just not really inspiring me all that much either. I love all this stuff. I think it's all fun, but I'm a little bit stumped as to putting it together to do an attempt at an art piece. That's a little challenging. Okay, stop talking about how challenging it is. Let me see here. I'm bringing back this guy. I'm not so sure about this part. This plastic feels kind of cheap, the cord, but we'll see. Now, it said it could fit this guy. Since that's big, I'm going to put it in the middle. And we're going to put all the pens in and see how thick it looks. There's lots of room here. In fact, I think we can fit another one there. And then maybe, well, there's plenty of room for pencils is what I would probably bring with these. So then, oh wait, I think you're supposed to fold that down. And wait, what do I do with this? Is there an instruction? Like all the other pen rolls I've had before, you just wrap it around and maybe tuck this, but this has this guy, and so I'm just confused. Like, is this what you're supposed to do? Well, maybe. Did you see that? I don't know. You can wrap it, you can double secure it there. Now, I don't have all the pens in there. Should we put some pencils in there and just see how big it is with more things? Let's see. Right now, with just the ones we got in the box, it's about 2 inches, 2 to 2.5 inches thick, and then this is, with it folded down, about 7 inches. Let's put some more in there and see what it looks like then. I got the perfect amount with just grabbing a handful randomly. Oops, fold down. Alright, and then I really don't know if this is how you're supposed to do this, but let me know in the comments. Have you had a pencil wrap like this before? Is this the right way to wrap it? That's what I'm doing for right now. And let's grab our ruler back. And now it's a little, well, let's see, about 3 inches wide. Just under maybe, same height. That's not too bad. I like it. Oh, maybe I should stay in frame, huh? What do you guys think? So, I mean, I'm not crazy about the fabric color. I would have loved turquoise, but then again, that's my favorite color. Black's not bad either. And this, it's not much protection. Like, I can feel the pencils in there. But of course, they sent it with pens, so maybe that's why. But I feel like if it's in a bag that's protected, this could be a nice thing to throw in there. So, yeah. Interesting box of what I would say is more stationary than art. And let me see if I can attempt to do some art with it. Oh look, I've already inaugurated the wrap with some marks. And my camera's like, what are you doing? It's having trouble focusing. Alright, let's see what happens next. I'm gonna have to try to stay in frame here. Here is my final piece. This was a real challenge, but I actually like this. I decided when something's really challenging, sometimes I like to make it smaller. You would think that this little 4 by 6 inch is small enough, but no, I wanted to make it smaller. But in my defense, I had to use the ruler, of course. So I did make it smaller, and I really like this sort of washed look that I got with the Faber-Castell marker. And so that was kind of fun. And then I also watered down the gel pens and did this background here. And then a couple of the pencils here I did with that same technique of using some like palette paper and just a water brush. So yeah, I cheated. You saw I cheated in the beginning with the pencil probably because I just couldn't do it. I tried to start sketching with the pen, but I needed to get some ideas down. And with this guy, I was trying to go for the look of the paintbrush being behind the water glass. Yeah, I don't know if that's showing through, but yeah, I like it. So as far as being an art piece with pens, I think this turned out pretty well. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed seeing the supplies and the challenge of trying to do something with them when it's definitely way out of my comfort zone. So as always, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful and creative day. Bye!